10 years. A lot can change in 10 years in all aspects of life. We'll stick with photography here. 10 years ago, I was 27 years old and really hitting my stride with my digital work. I was shooting with my Fuji X100 and it really felt like an extension of my body at that point. I kind of stumbled onto my style, being drawn to light pools and dark settings, but I also tried to stay versatile in other ways. 2016 would be the year I'd visit Tokyo for the first time. By then, I was really comfortable shooting in dense cities. All through the 2010s, I'd fly to New York to take photos, and I still do at a smaller clip. But Tokyo's different. Culturally more private and reserved, quiet expressions and emotions. I found a lot of stillness in my images here, despite Tokyo's massive size. With digital, I really loved shooting indoors and at night, seeking out isolated light sources and letting them paint the scene. It was easy just exposing for highlights, no zone focusing, just set and shoot. And crank that digital ISO if you need some speed. It was really fun and simple. After this first visit, Tokyo left me wanting for so much more, and I was eager to come back with my wife and family this past winter. We were greeted with snow when we arrived. Apparently this isn't too common for Tokyo, so it made it all the more magical sharing this moment with my family. The frigid cold was an afterthought, and we were all so excited to explore and hit our Tokyo side quests. Tokyo is one of those places I can travel to yearly for the rest of my lifetime and still feel like I've only scratched the surface. There are so many layers I want to uncover in the future to gain a better understanding of this place and its culture. The M6 was great for having something quick and light on hand. I had never really used it so extensively in a snowy environment, so I was constantly pointing my camera at my hand to meter for a neutral color. I've gotten used to this trick out on the street when lighting changes quickly, but it's also helpful when the bright white snow can play tricks on your meter. And while these aren't the best photos I've ever taken, many times my most meaningful ones aren't. The best photos are always going to be the ones that have your loved ones in it, and I came home with plenty of those. Coming back with only a film camera was a completely different experience. It was much slower, more deliberate, and literally the opposite fundamentally when exposing some scenes. This was especially true when trying to replicate my old low-light digital style. When I started shooting film in 2021, I quickly realized my style would not translate to this medium. It was honestly a shock to the system, and I had to flip my brain to see the world differently and expose for shadows instinctively. I had come to terms that my style would have to adjust if I was going to be happy with my results, but I purposely wanted to challenge myself this trip and go shooting at night without a flash for old time's sake. So I dragged my wife to Shibuya for 2 nights to give myself as many opportunities and subjects to shoot as possible. It wasn't too hard of a sell since she loved going to the Don Quixote in the neighborhood. Overall, I'd say I got mixed results. I got a couple of photos I was pretty proud of, but ultimately, and somewhat predictably, could not replicate the quality of work I was able to put together on my first trip. But working against the elements, or in this case, shooting handheld film in the darkness without severely underexposing everything, was where the fun laid. It's not always about the final product. Just go after it and enjoy the process.